Hello, I'm Aspen. I'm an embodiment coach, and today I want to talk about some Rumi poetry and quotes and how to apply some of that to how we live in our lives and how to create a better relationship to our emotions and our experiences. And then also some practical tools, like some real practical tools that you can put into play immediately, so it's not just all a nice idea. So to begin, I'm going to read Rumi's Guest House. And this whole talk is really about how do we dance with these inner guests. He says, "This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond." So, it's a beautiful idea, and in practice it is, in my experience, quite challenging. And most of my clients and people who I work with come to me with the desire to change the visitors, to get rid of some of the visitors. And I so deeply resonate. It's a real human quality to want to get rid of the bad stuff and feel the good stuff. And that longing that we really have to be free will never come from eradicating the visitors that we don't want, from deleting parts of ourselves. What can be cultivated, what is the evolutionary possibility, is to change our relationship to those visitors, to those inner experiences, to our feelings and emotions and sensations. So I know that this capacity can be built because I've built it within me, and I continue every day, and it's what I work with others. And so there is hope. And also, it comes from a place of real curiosity and exploration and kindness. It's easy to get trapped in this needing to fix, this kind of self-improvement project, this looking for the things that are wrong and wanting to change them. And it's a beautiful intention. However, if it's come at that place you can get where you feel like you're at war with yourself, if it's coming from that place, it can never really be give you that freedom and openness and love and wholeness that you desire. And so really coming at this from a place of play rather than work, and with curiosity and kindness. So the first thing I want to say is a really embodied way that you can begin to apply this is to drop into the physical sensations in your body. So to begin to cultivate that awareness, that embodied awareness, the ability to feel sensations and track them in your body. Because oftentimes we get so lost up here in the why and in the story and in the cognitive and in the thinking, and it has a place, it serves. However, if we want that deeper connection with ourselves, with life, with the ones that we love, with this great mystery, then we need to drop it down farther and be able to tap into that embodied awareness and intelligence. There is so much wisdom here held in the body. And also, it enables that dance that I'm speaking about. When we can drop under the narrative, drop under the story, and just begin to feel the energy that is here. Like, what does grief, if I take the word away, what does that embodied experience feel like? What does that energy feel like? And then how can I relate to that? How can I feel it? How can I meet it, as Rumi says? How can I move with it, sound with it, be with it? And it's experimental. It is a total dance, and it is a total personal thing for you. So there's this beautiful sacred middle that I've spoken about before, where you get to find, how do I dance with this instead of fusing with it and meshing and becoming overwhelmed and kind of going more into immobility, or dissociating and distancing and not really being able to feel it and not really being in my body. So the beautiful invitation is to begin to experiment with this juicy, sacred middle territory, where you're dancing with it, where you're in relationship to it. And that takes practice. It takes a lot of practice, and it also takes a lot of resourcing first. We all have trauma, and it's really important to do all of this type of work slowly. So you, in your body, may need to find a lot of safety first, a lot of goodness first, resourcing first, in order to kind of grow your muscle and strength and container to feel. That's why it's always such a beautiful thing to have a guide on this journey. And luckily there's so much resources out there now, and so many spaces and places. If you are interested, I have a monthly membership that's a consistent container where you get to show up and experience these types of things and increase your embodied awareness and move and breathe and sound, so that you're strengthening that muscle, so that then out there in your life you are empowered, like you're like magic, like you have the ability to dance with these visitors. It's, trust me, like I used to be someone who was very much in the meshing, merging camp, the immobility, I would become the grief. It wasn't like I was feeling it, I was it. And it was overwhelming, and I felt too much. I just felt like this raw, sensitive being all of the time. And so for me, learning to have that strength in relationship to be able to begin to dance with these things and to not become so overwhelmed and enmeshed, and to begin to find that sacred middle territory is like, it's just magical to me. I mean, it's so liberating. It's so freaking amazing. So that's the evolutionary hope, is to be able to have a more empowered relationship with your experiences, with your feelings, with your visitors. So, dropping in and feeling the physical sensations and becoming much more curious once again to the how rather than the why. So how does this feel in my body versus why is it here? How is my body taking a shape around this? How are the physical sensations moving in my body? What is the temperature? Is there pressure? Can I really imagine and see them? Can I drop into the how rather than why? And the last thing I want to say is, it takes so much bravery and courage. We learn really quickly from a young age to not be so vulnerable, and to kind of tuck things away, and to stop the wave of emotion, and to just really lock things down as a way to survive. And it's really intelligent, and we get really good at protecting ourselves. And a few decades later, we may want to reevaluate, do I need to be protecting myself as much as I am from these emotions, from these feelings? I didn't have the capacity in my little being body to be able to feel and hold this energy. Maybe I could now. What if just in this moment I breathed and felt? Maybe not the next, but maybe in this moment. And to begin to have that more playful curiosity to the physical sensations and the life that is here in you. Yeah. So another thing that Rumi says is that the wound is the place where the light enters you. And so what if this visitor, what if this grief, what if this rage, what if this sadness had a message for me? What if it was here not to go against me, but to give me more of me? What if it was here as a emissary for a new life, as like a reclamation of my power, of whatever? And so to once again be shifting from that something is wrong and I need to fix it to this is part of me. Like, we can't pick and choose our wholeness. And so how can I begin to relate to this piece, to this part? And honestly, so many times, it is just wanting to have that. Like, you're welcome. You're welcome here. It's okay that you're here. And to be welcomed back into the wholeness and fullness of you. It can really be that simple sometimes. He also says, the pains you feel are messengers. Listen to them. So oftentimes we just don't listen. We want to skip to the feeling better, to making it positive, to getting out of it in whatever million of ways that we have to do that. And so what if I just listened? I just really listened. And once again, it's listening from your whole body. So really allowing these sensations in this life to be here and remembering, like, numbness is a sensation. And you can grow your capacity to feel sensations. Believe you me, I used to feel a zip from down, nothing. And so you can also increase that capacity to feel. And then that means that not only are you, yes, able to feel then like the grief and the sadness, but you're able to feel like the joy and the bliss and the pleasure and the just like, feelings as well. So to sum up, 2 practical ways. The first way we spoke about is just dropping in and seeing if you can physically feel sensations in your body. And you may have to do that a bajillion times, right? Your brain goes into, why is this here? And making up stories about it and just going into like all of this, right? And just dropping in and dropping in and dropping in and seeing if you can just see and feel this visitor. And then maybe even if you want to begin to experiment having a dialogue with it, moving with it, sounding with it, breathing with it. Sound and movement for me and breath are the tools to be able to liberate, to really be able to begin to undo, to unwind, to let those waves that we learned so well to block and to stop, to complete, to finish. And imagine if instead of having a framework in your body that's like this, that's all these little blocks and all these little boxes that you've made, imagine instead how the energy might move if some of that was freed up, was cleared, was a little bit more fluid. Yeah. Okay. So 2 last things. I want to end with one of my favorite Rumi poems, and then I also want to say that for my videos, there's always a free pocket practice. So if you go to the link below for the free practice, there's a ton of downloadable meditations and audio practices to really help support you actually doing this in your body. Because we can learn all the things in the world, but if we're not actually putting them into our body and feeling in our little being how that is, what that's like, then it's not translating and actually transforming your life. So, pocket practices, free, amazing, all for you, and then also that membership. It's super affordable and the price is going to go up next month, so if you lock in now, then you get the discounted rate. And there's 2 different options, or you can do both. A lot of people do both, and then they really have a consistent container to constantly be showing up in and moving and undoing and really coming back home to their fullness. I mean, it's just, I'm going to start crying because it's like so incredible to really see people blossom and to really actually see more of them. Like, wow, there's about 50% more of you here now. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So to end, my dear friend, the last Rumi quote. Are you searching for your true self? Then come out of your own prison. Leave the little creek and join the mighty river that flows into the ocean. Take off the burden. Whirl and circle and rise above the wheel of the world. There is another view. So my friend, there's that view for you. It's there. Trust me. And you are already whole. And you are already enough. It's just you stepping into that and feeling that and being in your body for the life that is here. Sending you so much love, so much love.